So we'll be looking at how to record expenses on Carrotsuite, how to create expense categories, and how to view your expenses. So first of all, when you get to the home menu, you click on the accounting module. So from the accounting module, on the menu by the left, you locate the record expense menu. So it brings you to this page. So while recording expenses, the first thing to note is that you should have created your expense categories, and you should have created your credit account, your cash account. So that will be done in a different video. So for your expense categories, creating expense categories on Carrotsuite is very simple and straightforward. You can go to the sub menu under expenses called expense categories. So when you get here, you can click on create expense category, then enter any categorization you want to enter for your expenses. As a matter of fact, anything you want to track, any expense you want to track, you need to create a category for it. If you want to track repairs, you need to create a category for it. If you want to track fueling, you need to create a category for it. If you want to track like computer repairs, especially, you need to create a category for it. So you just enter the category name and you save, and it's as simple as that. Then to record expenses, you come to the record expense page, and on this page there are three ways I'm going to show you to record expense. The first one is just the simple expense recording method. Just record a few expenses in a day or so. So that's how that's how simple it can be to record a few expenses. So that's like filling in this form and submitting. Then the second one is when you have bulk money coming from a singular source, then you can record it as an expense breakdown. That's the second way. Then the third way is recording it as a bulk expense. So in this bulk expense, you can record as many as 20 different expenses, 30 different expenses, and save. And you don't need to save, record another one, save, record another one. You record everything at once and save it. So let's start with this first one. So first of all, you select the date the expense occurred. Then secondly, you select the expense category in question. Then thirdly, you enter the amount that was spent on that expense. So fourthly, you select the credit account. Where did the money come from? Where did the money come from? So credit account means where is this money coming from? Is it petty cash? Is it impress account? Is it cash at hand? Is it this bank, this particular bank? Is it that particular bank? Where did the money for this expense come from? Then you select a beneficiary. So beneficiaries are like who the money was given to, or for whom was this expense made. So beneficiaries can be your vendor, it can be your client, it can be your staff, and it can be an employee, it can be a marketer. So you select your beneficiary. So if the beneficiary does not exist, or the beneficiary is just like a one-off beneficiary, someone you just give money to do something one-off, for instance a vulcanizer along the road, in that case you tick this box and you enter the vulcanizer, or you enter the custom beneficiary, which means you don't want to track anything relating to this, since it's just like a one-off or once in a blue moon kind of expense. So you just enter the beneficiary that way. So if then you need to select related item. That's the next thing. You need to select related item. So related item is the cost center, as an accountant will call it, the cost center of this particular expense. Is it property? Is it an inventory? Is it an asset? The cost center of this particular inventory. So, and one thing you need to note, if the cost center, if this particular expense is a direct cost, then you will have opportunity of recording it as a direct cost. In that case, let's say it's a direct cost. Let's say you buy a plot of land for reselling, and then you spend money to clear the bushes. I believe that is a direct cost. That adds to the cost of that land. Or you spend money on perimeter fencing for that land. That adds money to the direct cost of that land. Or you buy some inventory and then you spend money to transport it from where you bought it to where you're going to sell it. I think that adds to your direct cost. So when a direct cost is involved, you just select the property in question and tick this box. So this box does not become enabled until you have selected a related item. So if you don't select anything here, the box is disabled. So once I select a related item here, then you need, if it's a direct cost, then you tick it. If it's not, you can leave it alone. So then the next thing is the reference number. Reference number is the receipt number for the product you bought, or the what you spent the money on, the ticket you were given, the number on that ticket. Whereas description is further detailing the expense. Then after this, you have to upload the expense document, which is not compulsory anyway, but you may need to upload the expense document if you are required to do so. So you can do that by clicking on this add a document, then clicking on choose file, then select the file. So that is how to upload document. So when you are done with this, you simply click on save. So but I want to go back and touch this expense breakdown. So let's say for instance you are given 10,000 from a particular credit account, let's say from a particular bank, and you are to allocate that 10,000 immediately into different purposes, or to use 2,000 for this, 3,000 for that, the remaining 5,000 for this. So in that case, since it's coming from the same credit account, you can use this expense breakdown. So what do? You select your expense category, enter description, select your VAT if it's applicable, then enter the amount used. Then you add another line, select the expense category, enter description, select your VAT if applicable, then enter the amount. You can see this expense amount is not equal to total breakdown amount. This is like a notice. That's because we entered 100,000 here, but inside here on this expense breakdown there is nothing. You get? So when the total in this expense breakdown equals the total amount up here, then this notice will disappear. Let's practice. Let's say this is 35,000, and then this is 65,000. Can you see the notice disappears? So this expense breakdown is for allocating money from the same source to different uses at the same time. So whenever there are issues like that, or there are occasions like that, you use the expense breakdown. Otherwise, you leave it alone. You just record it normally. Then the third way to record expense is the bulk record expense. If you want to record multiple expenses at the same time, then you use the bulk record expense. So first thing you do, you select date, you enter the amount, you select the credit account. Where did this particular money come from? You enter the expense category. You select your beneficiary, you enter description, you select related item. So this is one line of expense. Now then you go to the next one, you fill it, next one. So you can record as much as 20, 30, 50 rows on this page, and you will post them all at once by clicking on save. But at the end, if there's anyone you're not recording, just click on this close icon on the extreme right to remove that row, that expense recording row. So when you're done with all of this, you click on save, and then it will post everything accordingly at the same time. So that saves you a lot of time. Instead of coming to this page and you record the first one, you save, come back, record the second one, save, come back, record the third one and save. It saves you all those time. So what you should take note on this page, number one is you can't enter custom beneficiary. Number two is you are currently unable to record as direct costs via this method. So those are the limitations on it for now, which will be updated with time. So this brings us to the end of how to record expenses. So next is viewing your expense records. So you click on expense records under expenses and it will show you all the expenses you have recorded. So, and then you can search by different parameters: start date, end date of the expense, when the expense was posted. You want to see expenses posted between so time and so time. You want to see expenses on a particular category. You want to see expenses by beneficiary type. You want to see expenses by the credit account, where the money came from. You want to see expenses by related item. You want to search for expenses by location. And you want to see expenses occurred on weekly basis or monthly basis. So this is where you see all the expenses you have recorded. So thank you very much.